Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, judges and audience. I'm honored to have this chance to speak to you today about the issue of sustainability, nutrition, and innovation. I'm Andrea. My team members are Casper, Annie, and Irene. Irene, could you help define the term SDG, everyone, please?
I'd be glad to, Andrea. SDGs are short for Sustainable Development Goals. In 2015, the United Nations set up 17 SDGs that were adopted by 193 countries, and their mission was to achieve these goals by 2030. But now, here we are, at the end of 2021. The clock is still ticking, 9 years left. With so many missions to accomplish, is it possible? To be honest, the problem with these 17 goals is that, well, there are 17 of them, which can make the mission look massive and complicated. But don't worry, today we'll focus on Goal 2, Nutrition, Goal 9, Innovation, and Goal 11, Sustainability. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we present Sustainability, Nutrition, and Innovation.
Wow, Irene, I think we're going to need some magic to achieve this. I'm afraid none of us know Harry Potter in person, but we did discover some weird and wonderful things. Some are tiny microalgae, some are much larger macroalgae. The other is a bit more disgusting, poop. We thought poop can actually be turned into fuel. It can even power our cars and motorcycles. I guess you can call this magic. I just hope my scooter won't smell like a toilet. Casper, what do you think about this?
Don't worry, Andrea. Your scooter won't smell like a toilet. Taiwan has developed a way to process poop. Do you know Fungi University? Well, it was the first in Taiwan to develop a two-stage biogas technology. It's called Honeytech. They take the poop from chickens, pigs, even cows. Actually, we call this poop manure. All the stinky manure is deposited inside a tank, where anaerobic organisms are added to break it down. And the process creates methane and CO2. And these two gases are put into a dynamo, which can create electricity. Taipei Times reported from Kaohsiung, where this technique is used in a 500,000 chicken farm. The chicken manure can generate over 16,000 kilowatt-hours of energy every day. In other words, enough energy for 1,700 households. There is another magic you mentioned called microalgae. According to Taiwan Today, Donggang Fisheries Research Institute are hoping to replace diesel with an algae-based alternative. As reported, quote, it grows perfectly in Taiwan's subtropical climate, unquote, and it is a cost-effective, environmentally friendly product. On the other hand, there is a team from Chengkong University has established one of Asia's largest biorefineries. The algae residue has numerous health benefits, as it contains not only vitamins A, D, and E, but also essential amino and fatty acids including omega-3, 6, and 7. These are some of the reasons microalgae shows a promise for the food of the future.
That's incredible, Casper. It seems Taiwan has created its own magic without the help of Harry Potter. Now, over to Annie, who will draw a comparison with what Australia is doing to achieve its SDG goals.
As we all know, Andrea, Taiwan is a small island and Australia is a huge dry continent. We both are surrounded by the sea. Unfortunately, salty seawater is no good for drinking or for growing crops. Luckily, there is an amazing crop that grows in the sea, seaweed. It is not a tiny microalgae used by Taiwan, but it's actually called a macroalgae or kelp, introducing quote-unquote the miraculous power of the humble seaweed by BBC Real. Importantly, kelp is the fastest growing organisms on Earth. So, guess what? Australia has been developing seaweed or kelp farms. Kelp loves CO2, so CO2 is pumped into the sea in bubbles. a bit like Taiwan bubble milk tea. And you know what? The more bubbles, the happier and quicker the kelp grows. Kelp has so many benefits. In fact, a 1 hectare area can grow 50 times more than the same area of cattle land. And the protein produced is tremendous. Many biomaterials can be made, including biodegradable plastic and of course biofuel, being incredibly nutrient-rich. It is now popular in veg burgers and pastas. Another amazing trend it has, it can actually mimic human tissue. Therefore, extracts of seaweed are being used to print out human skin. You see, it's not only perfectly natural, but a renewable and sustainable resource. Back to you, Andrea.
Wow, Annie, maybe we no longer have to worry about getting old and full of wrinkles. We can just print out our own skin from kelp, and we can eat super healthy pastas and veggie burgers made from algae to keep our perfect figures. Sorry, Mr. Potter, much as we love you, we no longer need you. It seems both Taiwan and Australia have created their own magic. Poop, methane, and carbon dioxide are no longer waste, but fuel for the crops of the future. Maybe what originally looked like Mission Impossible for SDG goals now looks sustainable, innovative, and nutritious, and full of promise. To sum up, algae is here to stay, as it can arguably address global issues. I hope today will inspire you something more than a thought. Thank you so much for listening.